to fight on the landing ground.
Thank you for joining us. You are listening to A Radio, and this is the Morning Moment. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. This is a piece that nearly passed me by. It was an interview that Saskatchewan Premier Brad Wall had done with the BNN network, exposing the real truth about Trudeau's anti-Canadian energy policy. And I bet when in future years that if we ever get out from under the crippling weight of this oppressive federal Liberal Communist government, that some sort of deal will have been seen to have been done with Middle East countries to destroy our energy sector. But that's in the future. Take a listen, and I welcome your thoughts as always, and also the link will be on my website. Take a listen.
Saskatchewan Premier Brad Wall is putting the blame for the death of the Energy East pipeline squarely at the feet of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. He says TransCanada's decision to cancel the planned pipeline from Alberta to New Brunswick is bad for his province and bad for Canada. We're off to Regina to speak to the Premier. Mr. Premier, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Michael.
Ottawa suggests it's the low energy prices that killed off the pipeline.
Well, it's interesting. I was watching BNN yesterday and heard the analyst from Calgary, from Canoe Financial, basically expose that for the fallacy that it is. Let's remember that the federal government has been ambivalent about Energy East at best. And at worst, we've seen mid-process regulation changes, moving the fuel goalposts in the middle of this process, significantly the requirement that GHG emissions upstream and downstream be measured. A test, by the way, that's unique to the energy sector, to the energy transportation sector. It doesn't apply apparently to the aeronautics industry or the auto manufacturing industry or other mining industry, but to oil and gas as it relates to pipelines. And I just categorically reject the fact that low prices are the cause of this. By the way, that's the same response we've had from the federal government and others when we point out that there's been about $30 billion in capital flight from Canada's energy sector to outside of Canada, to places like the Permian Play in Texas and those shale plays in the southern United States. I always point out that it's $50 West Texas in those states, just as it is here. There are pipelines being approved and built. Energy 9's going, Line 9's going ahead, for example, under the same sort of prices. This does rest at the feet of the federal government, and I think it hurts Canada's chances of ever becoming energy independent. A year ago, June, I was speaking at an energy conference, and we went out to an oil loading facility in St. John and watched the Saudi ship unload oil to Canada, home of the third largest oil reserves on planet Earth. I think we need a government in Ottawa that has a vision for this country being energy independent, that we don't have to import oil from the United States or Saudi Arabia or anywhere else for that matter.
You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you can find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Gab, and email. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass on the links. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all my morning moments at Spreaker.com under A Radio, that's EHRADIO, A Radio. And please click on the like button. And you can find all my podcasts and morning moments at aradio.wordpress.com and click on the Morning Moments tab.